Good evening and welcome back to yet another exciting episode of Girly Chats. Today is called 24 Hours and oh my goodness, have we got some news for you. So before I step in and we start having this beautiful conversation, first and foremost, I would like to introduce you to Donna, who is my right-hand woman in Self Love Club and all of the Lucy Davis brand. And I would also like to introduce you or reintroduce you to a lot of my followers. Maxine Palmer is somebody who graced my presence a few years ago and has been like a little limpet in my life ever since, and I'm so grateful for that, by the way. So you know, some of you would have met Maxine the other week when we did our Instagram live, and this is kind of like a follow on from that. So if you didn't watch it, I'll look to download that and get that on the YouTube channel. But basically, since Maxine has met myself and Donna as well, this is fair to say, Donna has been on a huge journey too. Both of them almost met my soul, and it gave their soul permission to actually ignite. Maxine came back. She had switched her gifts off. Maxine came back and Donna went, hey, I'm going to bloom now. So these two girls have been by my side for the last few years. Donna has been on a literal huge journey, well, many literal huge journeys with us. So tonight we're just going to have a bit of a brain dump. We're just going to talk about some of the synchronicities that have happened, some of the things that have gone on over the past few years. So ladies, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you. It's so
Again.
good to have you on. It is so good to have you on. And I'm a bit like, oh gosh, what's going to come out this evening? But you know what? It is. We're going to do this. So I think, Max, let's start with you, because when I said, what should we call this? You were like, 24 hours. It's got to be 24 hours. So let's start by talking about 24. Okay.
Right. So obviously, I've now known you for nearly 4 years. And like you say, I switched off my gifts. But then obviously following you, they've started to come back and I'm allowing them in. So now when you say things, I don't sometimes hear all the words you say, but I pick things out and I started journaling what you were doing. So it's about 2.5 years now.
Stalker.
Yep, I'm your biggest stalker ever. And I have actually sat outside your house, even though physically I haven't been. I know I've sat outside your house, seeing you travelling off and listening to certain words you say in your sleep. Even though I have stayed in a house with you when you did sleep, which was even funnier. And I've just got to bring up, sorry, Donna falling off the bed, slipping off the bed that night. Forgot to mention it last time, but it keeps coming back to me.
Looking at those.
So when Donna posted those photos, we have to share those photos. But I'd literally given you a bottle of water and said night. And I went out and this hysterical laughter came. So I had to go back in. And there's Donna sprawled on the floor because she got a silky dress on and she slid off the bed. Priceless. Honestly, priceless. So when I do post these pictures, there's one of Donna's face and one of Lucy laughing hysterically. That's what it is. Donna's literally just got up off the floor, sat on the bed and go, geez. So yeah, these are the fun things we have. So yeah, the 24, you kept mentioning the number 24. And it was like the 24th, or it could just be the 24, and then things started happening. Yeah. So let me go through the list of 24. So firstly was 24th was March lockdown. Yeah. It happened the night of the 24th. Then we had, let me find the other one. What else happened on the 24th? Oh yes, then we had mentioning Princess Diana, which you can fill people in on that one. And she's actually been dead 24 years this year. And then today we got some intel that in 24 hours, boom. So hence the 24.
Yeah.
There are a few other 24s, but I covered them last week, so I don't want to keep repeating myself. Yeah. But yeah, loads and loads of 24s.
Cover them, babe, because there's different people on here who
are on
the Instagram channel, although I'm sure they will all want to jump over and watch this, but do cover them off, darling.
Right, so I have to go back and find them now from last week.
Oh, sorry.
I've just got so many pages of stuff here. So where's the first 24? So 24th was the day the green dress appeared, and we don't know what that is. But then I think, was that the inauguration?
Yes.
Did she wear a green dress? So that was that one. I don't know whether I mentioned that last week. Have I still got them all here? 24th.
24th.
I probably even got them now, actually.
Who are we talking for green dress?
Wasn't it Biden's wife?
Wasn't she
on the 24th? You just mentioned a green dress, and I've written it down. I don't even know what year it was.
Oh right, 24th.
It was on the 24th of something. You just shouted out green dress, no significance. Let's wait and see. I've got a feeling it was 2 years ago.
Right,
because it's in one of my older books.
Interesting.
But you just said green dress, and it would be significant. And none of us wear green, to be fair. And I did forget about it until. But I think no, it's the Hunger Games green dress. Doesn't she wear a green dress in the Hunger Games?
Well, she wears different dresses, doesn't she? She gets sent.
Well, there's definitely a green dress, and then Biden's wife turned up in green.
I thought Biden's wife was in blue, babe.
Blue.
No, it was green. Everybody kept saying it was green. The television showed it was blue, but it did look green. Who knew?
Okay.
God knew.
Because the other ladies were in purple. Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The purple was coming very, very, very strong. Oh, how interesting.
Which I said was the colour purple, the film for slavery.
Yeah.
But they said it's purple for unity.
It's linked it's linked to
there's been no unity since the 20th of Jan.
No, but it's purple is the colour of the New World Order.
Yeah.
So
So yes, that's the that was the 24th.
Okay, interesting.
No, I've got to get on the right page. Yeah, so I think that's all I can remember from the 24th at the minute. Did I make a big note about the 24th somewhere? I've got so many pages you wouldn't believe. Yeah, I think that was it. But the main thing was the download the other day was Princess Diana, 24 years since she died.
Yeah, that was a really interesting one, because I feel it was either that day or the day before that I had shared my perspective on Princess Diana with you.
Yeah.
And the next thing you're like, oh my gosh, she's been gone 24 years, and it's very interesting, very, very interesting.
Because I don't get her very often, but I got her that one time when I had Donald Trump and Prince Harry in the diner, which you remember about. Yeah. Do you want me to tell them about that one?
Can do.
So, obviously I've learned to meditate now. Couldn't meditate at first. I actually thought it was a bit of a cult thing when people said, oh, you just want to meditate. Yeah. Well, it was Donna that encouraged me to do it, because for anybody who doesn't know, Donna is the bestest friend in the whole wide world. Ever.
I love you, Max.
There can never ever be a bestest friend like Donna. So Lucy and I have to share her, because there's only one of her. And Barry doesn't mind, because he sees her in the evening. We get her all day. Or Lucy pops her off on a travel somewhere and says, right, Donna, you coming with me? And he has to put up with that.
I think he's happy, Max. I think he's happy for the quiet, actually.
Peaceful, she's gone. So obviously once I'd learned to let the thoughts in, so it's like, if you have a dream and you wake up in the morning and you try to explain to someone. So last night I was in my house, but I don't think it was my house, and there was a garden, but it wasn't a garden, that sort of thing. And people do it to you all the time. Yeah. And there was this great big house, but it wasn't my house. I don't know whose house it was. And you're like, I wasn't there, mate. No idea what you're talking about, but thanks for sharing it with me. So I wrote down dreams, because that's what I thought they were, until certain people came, and I thought, oh, hang on a minute, no. Why would I be sitting in an American diner I've never been to with Prince Harry sitting next to me, who I've only ever seen on the television? But he was actually sitting next to me. He's got freckles on his arms and little blonde hairs. And I could see them, because that's what I stared at. So I was in this diner, and Mr. T, as I call him, and the prince came in, and they were stood to the side, and I'm sat, and I can still remember the feel of the chair. It was like plastic, but with those metal sticks as legs. And I was minding my own business like you do. Oh, God, get rid of that. Sorry, get rid of that. Sorry, my phone decided to ring. I said, nobody phoned me between 6 and 7 tonight. So my son rings. So I'm sitting in the diner. They're stood over there. And they're, oh, God, hang on. He's getting on my nerves now. God, this is a great. See what happens. So, please don't stop phoning me. As you can see, I don't do recordings very often. So, I'm sitting down, they can sit next to me and start a conversation. And so I just sit there completely transfixed with what they're saying, but I couldn't really hear a lot of what it was. So then I phone you the next day and say, right, you got to help me, because this weird thing happened to me last night. What do I do? So you said, talk to them. So it's a couple of nights later, and this was after the election. So this wasn't something that's happened before. So a couple of nights later, I'm back in the diner, but I'm actually prepared for it this time. So they sit down, and the conversation, I had to write it down. So I said to him, oh yes, so I asked Harry why he was involved. Not hello, how are you? Just straight, why are you involved? And he said, I've been in this a long time. Why do you think I got with M? That was my only way of moving to the US. So that was the excuse to get there. He couldn't have got there any other way because he needed to live there to be nearer. Right. So he was out of the royal family and he could be more part of it, but behind the scenes. So then I asked Mr. T, is the military really on your side? And he said, my military is, laugh out loud. Never heard him say laugh out loud, but hey, that's what he said to me. Loud. Yeah. So then this lady appears and says, we have to get it right this time. We can't cock it up. I wanted to do it, but my kids were too young. And I got the impression that was Diana. Right. But I couldn't be certain because I didn't like to turn around and look at her in case she disappeared. Yeah. Because it was all new and I thought, oh, she's just going to disappear. So I'm just going to not look. So what's really interesting about that is back in June or July 2018, Princess Diana's soul came to me and said, you've got to work with Harry. Like, obviously I've got a lot of information, which is when I started getting really, really a lot of the information that's going on around now. But she actually came to me and said, you've got to work with Harry, or her soul came to me and said, you've got to work with Harry. So it's very interesting that you tapped into that energy as well, babe, right? Yeah. But I'd had Harry a couple of times when we did global meditations. Right. So when you went to the White House that time and I said, I saw you through the window, but not your face, because it was your other costume, as we'll call it. Harry was to the side and I said I could see him taking babies, collecting babies from her in the sky. Right. Which is obviously why you went that day to the White House. Yeah. Because I was holding Donna's hand and you were in the middle of us and then you disappeared. So I had to hold on to Donna. Yeah. But he was there then. So he'd already started filtering through. Yeah. But I never saw Mr. T. I always got Melania. Yeah, which is really fascinating because I always get Mr. T, don't I? But very often we're in the same places together. Well, yeah, because obviously the last time I went, Melania was talking to me and asked where you were, and she said upstairs, as in outside of the building. Yeah. So I knew you weren't on a floor above me. I knew you were way above. Yeah, we were in London. Yeah. And that was when she told me about the 11th. Yes, of course. Which she still said today is the 11th. Yeah. Interesting. And we've got between the 5th and the 12th, which is the 11th. Yeah, absolutely. So Donna, just to bring you in here as well, I know that you've had some pretty profound meditations with us over the course of the months and stuff. So just to loop back a little bit, because we did have a good laugh about it a minute ago, what's so funny about you and meditation?
Because for ages I used to say that I was doing it and I actually wasn't. Yeah, I'm meditating. Yeah,
you had a table with candles and everything. I believe you.
Well, do you know what? To be fair, I did used to try to meditate, but I would lay down and fall asleep, and I would wake myself up snoring, right, literally. And then I'd think, oh yeah, I'm meditating, but I wasn't. And then Lucy said, you know, you don't have to lay down to meditate. And I was like, oh, really? Shouldn't I do whatever you like? You know, people meditate in lots of different ways. And so I started sitting up and then I was able to meditate. So it was the laying down that was putting me to sleep. And actually, I feel like I meditate when I'm singing. I did singing lessons. And when I'm singing, I really feel, I just feel elated. I feel different. It's like I have a connection when I'm singing.
Yeah. And I totally resonate with that. I spoke about it a short time ago on a live, that when I'm running, that's when I get a lot of my meditative thoughts come through. Yeah. And I never, if I can't literally sit and meditate or one evening, I don't beat myself up about it, because I write a lot every day. The default of what I do, and I actually meditate through that as well. So I think it's a great point that you touched on there. But
mine's when I'm cleaning.
Yeah. Well, this is.
If I start cleaning and I'm like today, I moved all my crystals around because they were looking a bit, clustered. And as I was doing that and cleaning all the shelf, that's when I kept getting downloads. Yeah. And it's worse if I'm cleaning the bathroom. Good God, the whole lot. I think they're in there with me. I'm just going to leave extra sponges out to clean.
Like a little portal in the bathroom. Whenever I get in the shower, that's it. I just.
Yeah.
But what I love is I actually really love that we're having this conversation, because so many people feel that they've got to sit still and just
Yeah.
But I did. When I first started, I thought like Donna, you've got to lay down. And I was the same. I was falling asleep. I was laying there thinking about all the things I needed to go off and do. I haven't got time for this, but they've said it's good for my soul. But then when I stopped doing that, and I will walk into my bedroom and I just sit. And I don't intend to do that. I intend to go in and do something, but suddenly I just have to sit down and they come through again. And it's amazing when you get it. Yeah. But when you first try it, it's because, obviously the cult thing, you've got to lay down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
with a candle. You've got to have a candle.
The thing about it is, I am so visionary when I lay down. If I sit up, don't get me wrong, I connect and I get information, but it's when I lay down. I mean, Donna's witness to some of the meditations we've done. Yeah. I lay down and I can witness my DNA codes being upgraded. I've literally watched them put templates into me. And it's just beautiful. And I go, I literally close my eyes to meditate and I jump into my third eye and I go on these incredible journeys, which is how I do the meditations for other people, because it's kind of like the journeys that I go on. So I think it's actually a really great conversation that we've just had there, girls, about meditation, because there will be some people out there that are sat there like this with their hands like this going,
Like, why is it not happening?
Did it for months, yeah.
You need to figure out what works for you, and it may be when you're walking, but for me, if you want to get the benefits when you're walking, it's about having no noise, no audible, no nothing in your ears, and just allowing it to take place, which is
that's when you see things like you said today on your walk. I'm the same. The things I see, and I could cry at some of them because they're so amazing and I haven't spotted them before.
Yeah, it was the bunny rabbits today. I was like, oh yes, because everything was in twos, and Noah the Ark was obviously coming in, and I'm like, this is fascinating. But those bunnies...
Well, it's strange how you said about Moses and Moana put about the Israelites. Yeah. So yesterday, I don't normally have anything on in the morning on the TV or the radio or anything. It's quiet, sit and have peace. But it was already on. It was on a music channel, and the Israelite song came on.
Oh.
Desmond Dekker, the reggae song. And I was dancing away to it. And then you mentioned Moses and the Israelites today. I thought, oh, well, there we go. There was another song.
There we go.
Yeah. And it's not like a trendy song. It's not going to be on one of the pop channels.
I was going to say, it's not a song that I've heard played for years.
It's really interesting, the synchronicities that are coming up at the moment. And this is why I'm encouraging people, be very aware of even down to the number 24. Even down to everything that's coming up right now, just be very, very, very aware of it, because synchronicities are actually guiding us right now. The way that we're shifting on the planet, the way that we're ascending into a much higher vibration, we're being given a lot more signs. It's whether we are prepared to acknowledge them and put the dots together.
Well, the 24 years since Diana passed, I didn't know. I didn't Google it. A lady came in my shop and was talking about something, said, oh, it's 24 years since Lady Diana died, And I just went, oh, God, here we go.
There you go.
Now, why would she bring Princess Diana up? She wasn't in the news or anything.
No.
Because they normally talk about the news and, the thing. Yeah. And I have to go, yeah, lovely, fine, glad you're feeling all right. But that particular day, that's why straight away I got on the phone to you.
Yeah.
Said another 24. Another 24 is coming in.
It's fascinating.
We really ought to put 24 on the lottery, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, should do.
Sure.
If I put all these numbers on, we'd win.
It's interesting. It's interesting you just said that, because I have had this thought in my head since Tuesday. I need to put 42 and 24 on the lottery. Now, I don't do the lottery. Literally, I don't do the lottery, but it's been on my mind non-stop since the second.
Well, you can do the lotto hot picks where you only have two numbers, so you could just have those two. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know that. Learn something.
Any lottery questions, do feel free to ask, love. I'm here with the answers.
Win.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I love it so much. So Dons, let's hop over to you, because nobody's really heard too much from you. And I know when I spoke to you earlier today, I was like, literally, we're just going to wing it. And you're like, oh, no, I've written some notes. And I'm like, okay. So is there a scenario that we've been in, that like a synchronicity or something that you've seen and you're like, what the heck?
So many, Luce. So many. So for me, the things I've written down, as you'll know, Glastonbury will always be my special place, right? It just, I literally approach that place in a car and I just, goosebumps all over me. It feels like home. And the reason for that is I went to a retreat with Lucy. What year was it, Lucy? I couldn't remember. Was it
2017 or 2018?
I thought it was 17. Yeah. And I went.
Oh, it was 18 because we'd been to Brighton, hadn't we? In the March, it was 18. Yeah.
18. Yeah. So I'd gone on a retreat with Lucy in Glastonbury to I sounds really weird here.
You're Dalek-y, my love.
Is it? Yeah.
It's better now.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
So I went to help Lucy run a retreat in Glastonbury, the Self-Love Club retreat. And I was completely asleep, to be fair. I was pretty much asleep. Okay. And we went to this. So before we go there, we go to get some shopping. This was the first thing that happened. We go to get shopping. And we're in Tesco's, or I think it was a Tesco's. And we were at the till and Lucy was putting stuff through the scanner. And she picked up this piece of fruit. I think it was a lemon, but I can't remember. And she didn't scan it. It didn't scan, but the price came up on the thing. And I just literally looked at her. She looked at me and I said, you didn't scan that. I literally went, you didn't scan that. And she went, I know, babe. And I went, but the price has come up. You didn't scan that. Because I was like, I was freaking out. I was like, that's really weird. Like, I've never seen that happen before. And Lucy was just like, yeah, babe, it happens to me all the time. So that was the first thing. And then when we get all the shopping through, it comes to £111.11.
Oh, wow. Oh, God. Why do I even look surprised?
On the button. And I was just like, okay, right, okay. Then we go to this beautiful house. Oh, we go to this beautiful house where we're going to run the retreat.
I'm thinking to myself, she's got no idea what she's
doing. I didn't. I had no idea. So we get to this beautiful house where we're running the retreat and we start setting up and everything. And the night before everyone arrived, we built a lovely fire, put a lovely fire in, and we thought we'd have a nice hot drink. Anyway, we walked from the kitchen to this. Bear in mind, this is really old house, really, really beautiful, absolutely beautiful old house. Oh, it was just lush. And we walked from the kitchen to the lounge. And as we walked into the lounge, the lights went. Right. So I've gone, oh, must have dodgy wiring, you know. Lucy's still smiling. We walked from that room into another room because there was lounges all over the bloody place in this house, into the next room. And as Lucy walks in, it goes do. Right. And I'm literally like, okay, once is a coincidence, twice is weird. So then I went to her, right, you walk back in that room. I'm staying here, walk back in that room. She's like, what? I want to see if it happens again. And every single room she walked in, the lights went do, and then stopped. Do.
Just not surprised.
And it happened all throughout the house every night.
Didn't matter
which. We slept in the same bedroom. There were loads of bedrooms that night because no one had arrived. But we slept in the same room because I was like, I'm sleeping with you.
What about the dog leg, Donna?
Oh, so then we're sat in this beautiful kitchen. Lucy had cooked the most amazing food. And we were looking out over the garden, beautiful garden. And then Lucy said, oh, there's a dog by my feet. And I went, oh, no freaking dog. You know, she meant a virtual dog, not a dog as I could pat a dog. So I've gone, right, okay. And then I saw someone walk through the garden. I saw someone walk through the garden. I said to her, there's someone walking around that garden. And she said, no, I don't think there is. I said, I saw someone walking through that garden, and she was just looking at me smiling as if to say, here we go. Here goes the journey. So then Lucy said something the next day, and I said, oh, God, hold on. Now, is this a real person that I can see? am I going to see this person with my eyes, or can you just? She went, yes, babe, this is a real person. Look, and I was like, oh, okay. I was literally like that the whole time we were there, and I came away from that weekend. Bearing in mind, I was a meat eater when I arrived. I came away from that weekend vegetarian, covered in crystals from head to toe, and definitely awake. Definitely not fully awake, but definitely starting to realise that there was more to life than I actually thought.
Just say something, because this is hilarious. I will never forget this. So Donna had just been so amazing. I decided to take her to the spa. I think it was the day that we arrived, wasn't it? Or the day before the retreat or whatever. And I was like, I want to take you here. I want to spoil you a bit, you know, just to say thank you. We go into this place, and they couldn't give us our massage or whatever we were doing at the same time, could they? So I went in, and as I came out, literally, I look at Donna and I'm like, yeah, we've got to go to Glastonbury. And she's like, Lucy, bearing in mind we're about 30-minute drive from Glastonbury town centre, right?
Yeah, from the town centre, yeah.
I'm like, Dons, we got to go to Glastonbury. And she's like, Lucy, you're about to run a retreat. When are you going to do this? And I'm like, Dons, we got to go to Glastonbury, because I had this massive download that there was a lady there that I had to go and meet.
Yes.
So we worked this weekend out so that I could get to Glastonbury. Donna obviously came with me, and sure enough, I met a woman who me and her have been on such a huge journey since then. She literally walked into a restaurant and went, oh, there you are, come over.
There you are.
Walked herself down, and Donna's like, what the? And I this is the lady.
It literally was exactly like you just said. Oh, there you are. Because we looked up, and she was in the queue getting her food, and I remember looking at her thinking, that lady keeps looking at Lucy like she knows her. And then she literally just walked over and went, there you are, I'm just going to sit down with you. And sat down, and that was it. And she took us on this huge journey. I was like that. I kept shutting my mouth.
Oh God.
I will never forget Lucy, her singing that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I've spoken to her a number of times about that. Absolute angelic.
Oh, the most beautiful voice I've ever heard, I think.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, if anyone ever wants to come on a journey with me for on a retreat or something, just prepare yourself. That's all I'm gonna say, because it's never.
Oh, do it. Do it. Your life will never be the same. It will be incredible. Do it. When she runs her next retreat, get your bloody name down. That's what I'm going to say.
I had some girls earlier this week saying, please, can you just run one in England? If we can't get out of the country, let's just run one in England. So I will do that if we can have group settings again.
Yeah.
You know, I will do. Yeah. Obviously, at the moment, we wouldn't be allowed. They're like, well, I'll just come and move into your house. But yeah, we will do that. But it was so much fun. And off the back of that, obviously, you know, or just before that, should I say, we'd been in Brighton, hadn't we? And there had been that whole beautiful scenario of everybody just coming together. There was a real sisterhood that we formed that weekend.
Oh, it was beautiful that weekend. Yeah.
To say none of us had ever actually met in person.
Yeah.
It was like we had.
Yeah.
Because everybody we all sort of, you know, we all comfortably sat around the table. We all had a chat. You gallivanted off, then came back, and then we had a bit of woo-woo going off, which a lot of other people didn't notice. Yeah. But it was just, everything just fit perfectly that weekend.
Yeah, it did.
And then obviously, I mean, the night out is just never, ever to be forgotten, ever.
Oh,
I mean, you remember, Donna, those zombified men just crawling along. Yeah, and Lucy's just still dancing. And then I say to Donna, I'm not being funny, right? But there's some guys there. They're just like, there's nothing, you know, and they're like a bit creepy. It's like being in Shaun of the Dead. You're going, no, it's fine. Just keep dancing. You got your handbag. Let's go.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah. It happens all the time.
This
everywhere we
happens
go.
all the time.
Take a little step back with that, because a lot of people wouldn't have ever heard that story before. So take a little step back. We'd been at this weekend event, hadn't we? And we went
all day.
Night out. So we got dollied up, didn't we? And that's the picture that's going to go on this thumbnail. So you would have seen us all dollied up.
Well, we need to go back one little bit more for a picture I'm going to put on. Okay. So I've already got to the house in Brighton, and you and Donna are flying in from Scotland. Were you in Edinburgh?
Yes.
So there's 3 of us in the house awaiting the arrival of Lucy. So The doorbell rings. We all get up to go and have a look, and it's quite a long hallway. And all I remember is these two little kids running in, because you two on the screen are like massive, really powerful, you know. God, they're going to be the same height as me, surely. And these two kids come running in. I had to bend in half to hug you, and I was just like gobsmacked. And Donna was saying, "Oh, it's lovely to meet," and I was just staring at her. She must have thought, "Oh, how rude." She's just glaring at me. And Lucy comes running in with the case. I've never seen a child run so fast, but it's like when you see kids running into nursery because they're excited to see their friends. That's what you two were like. But Lucy came in first, this tiny little being, and I sort of turned around, and then this other little being came in, it was Donna, and you were just tiny. And then when Donna sent me the picture, I went, "Oh, that just says it all. I look like something out of a fairground. This ginormous person holding two little people." And when people see the picture, they'll get it even more. Because when I saw it yesterday, I went, "Oh, it perfectly describes what I was saying." And I couldn't even speak because you were just like tiny and excited people. And everybody else thought it was normal. I thought, people must know that they're small. But honestly, it was like two little kids running in. "Hey, we're here. The kids are home."
Mum, I'm home.
Oh God, honestly, it was hilarious. So then we have this event all day Saturday, and we're going to a nightclub that night, but a few of them didn't want to go because they were tired. So as usual, it ended up as us three and then a couple of others. Yeah. So we're at this nightclub, banging music. You know, I'm way too old for this stuff, but hey ho.
We had a laugh though.
Oh, I had a great
time. It was hilarious. So we decided to go and have a bit of a boogie. And so Donna's here, I'm here, and Lucy's there with her back to the dance floor. And I just saw this guy first sort of shuffling along. I wouldn't even say he was walking or, you know, disco dancing along. You know, what's it called? The walking to the dance floor dance. He wasn't doing any of that. And he was like shuffling along. Yeah, that one. "Oh, I'm here now. Come on, let's get dancing. Come on, everybody. Come on. Come on, get up. What's up with you?" So he was like, you know, shuffling along. And so I couldn't stop staring at him. And then he just stopped behind you and just stared. His eyes didn't blink, nothing. So I carried on dancing. And then another one came from the other side and did exactly the same. And when I kept sort of looking at Donna, and she was perfectly fine, still dancing, not a problem at all. And then three or more guys started doing the same. And I thought, whoa, hang on. There's something wrong here. I'm in the middle of a film set. So I said to Donna, "There's something funny with them men there. I don't know what it is." And she went, "Oh, yeah, it's just normal." I said, "No, honestly, look at them. They're not moving." She went, "Oh, it happens all the time." I said, "But they look like zombies." And all this time we're still dancing while we're talking, you know. And anyway, then this woman appeared out of somewhere and slapped one of the guys across the face. So what are you staring at her for? And I thought, oh, right, it's real now. And he came out of his trance and went, "I'm not looking at anyone, I was just going for a drink." "You've been here ages. You've been here bloody ages." Boom, straight around his face. And honestly, that was it. And the others were still in zombie mode. But you hadn't noticed a thing.
Right? My back was to these people, right?
Yeah. But you must have felt their presence, because it was like zoom.
But I'm not imagining this. One of them ended up on his knees in front of Lucy.
That was it. That was the other thing I'd forgotten. Yeah. He was actually crawling in front of you. And you were still dancing.
He was doing,
and then he started doing this. Yeah. And you sort of looked down and went, "All right, okay, yeah, I'll dance with you." Little short man, even shorter than you.
What? I don't remember that in the slightest.
Yeah.
Donna's just reminded me. Yeah. He just came and just
he literally slid onto his knees in front of Luz. And
you're like John Travolta or Dirty Dancing, where he goes on his knees. That's what he looked like. He was a bad version of it, admittedly. Yeah, in front of you, like he was bowing.
The rhythm down.
And you just started, "Oh yeah, I'll dance with you, little short man on your knees."
Oh, hilarious! What a night!
Wow.
And then we obviously went to get a drink, and that girl was sobbing her socks off and ran at Lucy and just fell to her feet. And I said, "What is it with Lucy's feet, for God's sake?" And then you literally dropped down to pick her up. And she was telling you a life story over this loud music.
Yeah. I remember
and
that.
I just said, I'm going to get another warm Chardonnay in that plastic cup. Proper quality it was.
You need a warm Chardonnay when you go out with me.
Yeah.
Well, it was cold out.
Donna, explain the taxi in Barcelona.
Oh my goodness. So this is why these things do not faze me whatsoever. We were in Barcelona. We were at another event, weren't we, in Barcelona? And we arrive at the airport, and we get in the taxi, and we're going on our way to the hotel. And this little guy is just completely besotted with Lucy. He's like chat, you know, and obviously fancied himself a little bit as, you know, having a bit of a chance here. And I'm thinking, really? Like, you know, you've got to be kidding me. You know, bless him, as sweet as he was, but he was double Lucy's age at least. But he was just a chat. And then we get to the hotel, and he said, "Oh, should I take your bags?" And I'm like, no, it's okay, we've got our bags. No, I'll take your bags. He wouldn't have us not take our bags. And then so he follows Lucy, I mean, literally almost elbowing me out the way, follows Lucy into the hotel. And then he just stands there with the bags. And I'm thinking, what are you doing now? I was like, thank you. I thought, oh, maybe he wants a tip. So I gave him a tip, thinking he'll go now. And he didn't. He still stood there. And when the lift doors opened for Lucy to get in, he kind of started to follow us in the lift. And I said, "You're all right. Thank you very much. We don't need you anymore. We can carry our bags." And got in the lift. And I just said to her, "What the hell?" I said, "I'm going to have to get like one of these bats, you know, put it in the back of my bag, you know."
Fly swatter.
Yeah. But he was just literally like, "All right, yeah, I've just come." "No, you won't. No."
Do you remember that taxi though? That night that we went to the party, do you remember the taxi? The taxi man then proposed to me, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah. All in one day. So now you know, Max, why I wasn't phased at all by the evening out. It was.
But this is what was even funnier. Was you just came, it's normal, let's carry on dancing. And you didn't stop dancing at all, as if it was the most normal. And I'm like, well, hang on, there's another one. There's another two. And then that guy on his knees, and you just went, "Oh, right." And you just moved back out the way as if, you know, letting him in. And then Lucy just,
I didn't want to be taken out.
Do this all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly. And then when the girl fell at your feet, you just turned around and took another sip of your drink. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, what is going on?
Her up. I remember doing is picking her up.
Yeah, you had to.
Because I was like, there could be glass on the floor.
But she was crying, "Will it be all right?" And you were going, yeah. And I was going, "Well, what be all right?" What's wrong with you?
You don't ask questions like that when people come to me, Max.
Not now, but then this was my first outing with you, first meeting, small as a child, freaky men everywhere, and a woman dropping at your feet. It was a little bit much that day, my love.
You wasn't your normal night
out.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny because a lot of this stuff I just don't remember. No. I love it because I
and it's the reason I write things down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Thank you, Max.
I know I take the mick calling you a stalker just because it's funny. But
that's fine.
I'm grateful to you for doing this. So Max, tell us what else you've got on your list, because I know there was a couple of other things you wanted to share about.
Right. So what have we got this time then? Shall I mention Captain?
You can do.
Because that came out. That came out yesterday, because last night they were doing a clap for him at 6:00. Right. So this is going to get me some haters, but hey. And I haven't had my car all week, but because it was Sophie's birthday, I had to go and drop some cake round at neighbours. Yeah. And they were all out clapping, and I felt physically sick, but I didn't know why. Because obviously the poor guy, you know, sweet as a nut. So I came home, we had a lovely evening, and then I went upstairs, and I couldn't get it out of my head. So I messaged a friend of mine and said, not being funny, it just doesn't sit right with me. He's suddenly gone into hospital with pneumonia and died very, very quickly. And, you know, this great hero, we would have looked after him a lot better than that. He's just given him 33 million quid, which is strange. It's 33 again. Yeah. You know, he would have got presidential treatment, but we've let him die. And I couldn't quite get what it was. So I thought, do a meditation. and did a quick meditation. Obviously, it showed this big black cloud, and it wasn't him, it was his daughter. So my friend phoned back, had a chat with her, and she said, oh yeah, it was his daughter that put him up to it because he'd started walking around his garden. And she'd said to him, why don't you do something for charity? We'll get your name in the papers, was how it started. So he said, well, I wouldn't mind giving some money to the NHS. So she did all that. And she's actually married to a highly respected Freemason, which straight away answered my question. The Freemasons are here again. So that's another part of the old black cloud. So, but I had to find out why it didn't sit right with me, because obviously we clapped for the NHS and that didn't sit right for me. But when I saw my neighbours all out, little old ladies who haven't been out anywhere, standing out thinking they're doing a really good thing. So, but then I had to sort of have a check in with myself. They were doing it for the right reasons for them. Yeah.
And actually, Maxine, that's a really great point I would like to touch on here, because you know, I used to work for JP Morgan, who is one of the darkest entities from a corporation perspective on the planet. My intention was good. When I took that job, believe it or not, my intention was good. I wanted to show the girls how they could, you know, be independent, amazing career women, how they could, you know, do good things. That was my intention when I took that job. I didn't realise. And I love that you've just brought this up, babe, because we don't talk about this enough. Just because somebody might have the, you know, the all-seeing eye or something like that, it may be from an innocent perspective. Not everybody knows the ins and outs. Not everybody knows the history of certain things that we've spoken about on here. So I think it's really important that we do remember, as long as our intention is pure, we will get looked after. And that is. But
it's like they were clapping because they believed that what they were doing was a good thing and it made them feel good. Yeah. And just because I didn't clap, it hasn't affected them. They didn't know.
Exactly.
But it was just, I had this really dark feeling. And when I get one of those and I can't figure it out, I have to go and meditate to find out why.
Yeah. See,
I did get all these downloads.
I don't do any of that clapping because of the rituals that are surrounding it. So I don't do any of that. Interestingly, where I am, I'm actually living in quite a residential area at the moment. I'm living at my friend's because I still don't have internet in my house, and nobody was clapping at all, which is very interesting. Very residential here. And to be honest with you, babe, I have completely forgotten about it. But like you, it's not in alignment for my values.
I'd forgotten. If I hadn't gone out at 5 to 6 last night, which I wouldn't have done if it wasn't Sophie's birthday, so I was meant to go and see it so that I could then say, oh, hang on a minute, just because you don't sit right with it doesn't mean they don't, because to them they're doing a great thing and they felt good doing it.
And I think we need to honour everybody's journey. We're all at different places.
Absolutely.
Now, you know, and we really do need to step up and respect each other. You know, when you're judging somebody because of the way that they have their hair or the way that they speak, you must remember that is you judging yourself, because that person is you. And we must.
Well, it's strange you should bring that up, actually. Sorry to interrupt, but this came to me yesterday. Because now I'm seeing so many things, and I have done for about the last 6 months, I'm actually seeing how cruel people can be because they're not happy with themselves. You know, if someone's got an opinion on something, this is why people stay quiet, and this is why people get depressed, because they might have an opinion on something and someone else has belittled them so badly that they just don't speak because it's not safe to speak amongst that person. And this is where I've learned there are certain people in my life I can't spend time with. I'll gladly say hello to them. I wish them well. And I do wish them all well. I just don't need them in my little bubble that I'm in. Thank you very much. Because they can't help bringing people down because they don't know another way. Yeah. But there are some mean things said. And I've got a friend she's on Instagram. I think today she announced she's got 4 million followers. She just offers tips on how to clean. Really lovely, called Sophie. She has had so much abuse and she's so lovely, and she literally shows you how to clean things quicker and what she uses, and everybody loves her apart from this small minority. And so she's got a little boy, and they were saying, oh, he should be walking now. she didn't do a video of a little boy. She was doing a video of him putting dog food out and how cute it was while she was cleaning.
Oh, nice.
So really, she was just saying, this is how I clean the kitchen, whatever. And people were saying, oh, you should be walking, you shouldn't be crawling. And I just thought, why would you say that? So they're obviously not happy with themselves.
Absolutely.
But these little things, I never noticed how cruel people can be.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. A lot of people are, because there's so much energy shifting at the moment, you know, we've got this real battle of light and dark energy that's taking place.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, for a lot of people that aren't aware of what's taking place around the world, they're projecting all their stuff because they think that it is the right answer. Oh, well, this person's better than you, or you don't speak the way that I want you to speak. When actually, you can speak however you want to speak. You can believe whatever you want to believe, as long as you are being kind, no matter what.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Yeah.
There's no need to be bitchy. There's no need to be nasty to people. From my perspective, there is just no need whatsoever. We've all been through a lot of crap in our lives. Let's not make it even more.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Though.
Kind to each other, love on each other.
Yeah.
So
And it's only the last few months I've noticed just how cruel people can be. Because I don't follow many people on Instagram, Facebook. I've been on it once in about a fortnight. But I then started to notice the people who I was following, who I see such good in them. And then I saw these horrible comments, which I must have totally missed before, because apparently I spoke to both of them, that it's been happening for ages. And it said, yeah, it really does upset them. And I said, right, well, we need to talk, because let me show you how they're literally, you'll be doing this. It won't make any difference to your life. And they did feel better for it. But it just amazed me that I'd missed it for all that time. I must have literally scrolled past it. Because if somebody's making a nasty comment, I don't get involved in an argument, just get out of it. But, you know, these two really lovely people getting so much abuse for absolutely nothing. So, but it's got worse over the last few weeks, because obviously the darkness is still flying around.
Yeah.
People want to be heard right now. People are panicking. They want their views put out there. Like, honestly, with all due respect to any of my followers or anybody that decides to watch this video, you know, I need to be really clear with you. As long as you've got choice, as long as there is a freedom of choice, it doesn't matter what you do, what colour your favourite is, what you believe in, and it shouldn't matter what other people believe in. Not all of us have to be the same.
No.
Oh, that would be boring, wouldn't it, if we're all the same?
Yeah,
what sort of conversations would we have?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Oh, I like blue. Oh, I like blue. Oh, I love blue. I love blue.
But I believe it's a division that's been created.
Yeah.
You know, oh, my religion is better than yours. Oh, my colour hair is better than yours. No, who says? Who makes those things up?
Exactly.
You know, it's
because if we think back, where, you know, it's all stemmed from something, so it's all the programming that's happened throughout the years.
Yeah.
Well, it's society, right? We've been programmed since birth to compete with each other.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes, definitely a competition in every single thing.
Yeah, in every way.
Yeah. And I'm not in competition with anyone.
No.
I mean, I get abuse. I get quite a lot of abuse in the shop. I got loads before Christmas, but I just said, you know, I'm here to help, because some guy wanted to stand in a parcel, and I told it was £14. I went, yeah, it must be effing joking. I said, well, no, that's what it says on the screen. Well, I'm not paying that. Well, you won't be sending a parcel then.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you want another answer? Because I haven't got one.
Yeah.
It's £14 or it doesn't go.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. That's just ridiculous.
What's quite fascinating, I find, though,
I don't make the rules.
I find that on social media, people are very brave, and they will send messages because they can stand behind their picture of their cat or whatever.
Absolutely.
It's true though, right? It's always somebody's picture of a cat or their logo or something when they send something.
Yeah.
I just think, do you know what? You know, like, you're entitled to think whatever you want to think, but you don't need to be spewing that at people. Like, if you've got time to do that, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, find something that you love in your
life. They are missing something in their life. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I literally, and I'm very protective, like Donna will know, when Donna's been, because Donna's been working with me since, 2017, babe?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, what fun for
I know.
been.
It has
Well,
been.
I thought it was the year before. I thought it was 2016 because I met you in 2017.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, babe. I know it's been a while. That's all I know. I was 53,
maybe
and I'm 57 this year. So it's been, 4 years. Coming up 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's just interesting, isn't it?
Because obviously when I met you, Donna, little Lucy here popped in a video and I went, oh, who's that?
That's right.
And I can't remember, you were abroad. You certainly weren't in this country at the time.
No, that's right. I was
so rare I'm in this country.
Yeah, you were never here
exactly.
then. Yeah.
Apart from this year and last year.
And aren't we grateful you're here?
I know, right?
Yes.
Well, it's quite interesting. About this time last year is when I flew back from Dubai, and that's the last time that I went on a plane.
Yes.
No, that's total fib. I went on a plane to Glasgow with Donna to do South Love Club Hangs.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The last one before,
UK was in February of last year.
Yeah.
And that's just unheard of for me. I'm normally back in the UK for 2-3 months maximum a year.
Maximum, yeah.
It's just so fascinating. So, Dons, is there anything else that you wanted to share, my love?
No, I think I covered all my notes.
Awesome.
But there's just been so many. I mean, I couldn't even, I should have written down really like Max did. She's taught me a real lesson actually to start writing stuff down.
Make notes.
Honestly, the journeys we've been on, there's been so many.
I mean, I remember
hopping on and off planes and cab journeys, and I mean,
there's always something, because obviously I watch both of you, and then I talk to you when you get back, because Lucy's usually coming back and going somewhere else.
That's right.
And you've told me loads of things. I'm going to have to go through my other books because I will have wrote those down. Somewhere, because
there's always been stuff.
If it's a conversation I've had, that makes me laugh, I've written it down. I'm in Barcelona. I didn't go to Barcelona. That's when I joined the business.
That's right.
But you two have been laughing hysterically before you came on a live, because your face, if we'd have got a picture, I didn't realise you could screenshot on your phone then. I was new to it. You were like that all the way through, so that you didn't burst out laughing again. And I thought, what's wrong with Donna? And Lucy's like, but you were sort of sat a little bit behind her, and I thought, they can't look at each other because they're just going to burst out laughing.
But I think we had said that. I think we'd said...
Had you had a drink or something before? You'd had not a drink, alcohol drink. You'd had something, and you couldn't stop laughing about it.
You know what, Donna? That was the day that we did the meditation where I got all of those templates put in my body. And
yes, it was.
I think we had those lift sachets.
That was it.
Right.
That was it.
It was the lift. We had to have the drink. Yes, it was the
So you actually looked like you were on something, Donna, because you were trying not to laugh. And that was the first time you were both together. Yeah.
Oh, we were running on that road. What were we doing?
And then did you go salsa dancing after?
Yes.
Till God knows what hour of the morning.
That was an interesting night, wasn't it, Donna? We went salsa dancing, and it was
that was fun.
Again, it was a very interesting night with just people just being there, and it was just
every picture you posted, which was supposed to just be you two, they were like, it was like you were at some big arena. People's heads were everywhere. I remember that. Because I said, there must have been a crowd of them, not just those two.
Oh,
no, just pick people up along the way.
Wherever we go, we just round them up, don't we, Don? Come on.
Yeah, we do.
Come on, let's go and have some fun. It's just been amazing. Honestly, it's been such a glorious journey. I love you girls for coming on here. I really, really do. I'm so grateful.
Thank you for inviting us. It's been great.
So I just got a question for you, Donna.
Oh.
So, before you met Lucy, was life pretty boring?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to clarify that. Life was pretty mundane. We'd get up, we'd go to work, we'd wash the pots, we'd iron the shirts. He'd come home, he'd have his dinner, we'd watch a crap film on the telly and start again. And we haven't had a day like that since we met you.
No, we really haven't. No.
There's nothing now, is there? My whole life, I don't do anything the same as what we did a few years ago.
Me neither.
And I know Donna doesn't, because I talk to her
and I'm very grateful I don't.
Oh, God, yeah. And that's how easy it is to change your life when you meet the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Well, way to finish.
Yeah. Had to pop that in, mate, because honestly, grateful is an understatement. There's not a big enough word.
Absolutely.
And I still want to pick you up, put you in my pocket.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Donna in the other one.
Literally, a lot of people say to me these days, can I just have a you in my pocket? And I'm like, well, I'm Maxine's, apparently.
Well, you can actually have a Lucy in your pocket if you buy a set of affirmation cards.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying.
One of those.
Exactly. You can have exactly that.
Always next to me. Always.
In your pocket, in your bag, in your suitcase, in your handbag.
Next to your bed.
Or in the drawer. Do you get what I mean? Woman. You'll never get annoyed with those. Oh, bless you. That's so cute of you. Thank you. Listen, girls.
No, honestly mean it.
About doing a regular one of these.
I'd love to.
Just
there's always something to talk about.
Love to.
What we can do is we can share on different topics. So like, I know obviously there's a lot of astral travel that takes place, and we, lots of different bits and pieces that happen. So if you girls are open, I would really love to do that, because this is good for my soul. So good.
This is amazing for mine.
I think right now people.
My face ache. My face actually aches. My cheeks ache.
Honestly, it is so good. And considering face ache banned me, like now I actually have face ache. Be careful what you wish for. Okay, ladies.
But yes, gladly we do some more, because there's so much we haven't talked about tonight.
Yeah.
Because we stuck to a certain subject, but there's loads, absolutely loads, and it just gets funnier.
Yeah, we've got a lot of giggles. I think we need to share more on that journey in Glastonbury, Donna. At some point.
Oh God, we need to hear more about that.
Definitely.
Okay, all right, ladies, stay on.
Thank you, Lou.
I'm just going to press the stop button. Everybody, thank you so much. Do comment below if you want to see more of Maxine, and if you want to see more of Don's. Bearing in mind, Donna's travelled the world with me many times. She has got some huge stories on me. Oh, cringe.
I have indeed.
Below, give us the thumbs up and let us know if there is a certain subject that you would like us to talk about, and we will be back ever so soon. I'm going to link back to a video that I recorded just a few days ago around astrology and art, guys. So if you want to go and watch that, the link will just be here. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Lots of love, guys. Thank you, ladies.